Good morning to all of you. In our last class, we have been discussed about Young's double slit experiment up to some extent. Means up to half portion we have been discussed. We are discussed up to this much. Destructive interference, that will be 4k4 r square. Up to this much we have been discussed, and the so-called graphical representation of intensity with phi, that we are going to be discussed today. So before we have to start from here, I am going to just recap the last class whatever we have been studied. Okay. In the Young's double slit experiment, this is the basic experimental arrangement. What is the arrangement? That we have to consider two small holes, or we can say these holes act as two sources, and this is M dash is a screen. So when two rays S1P, S2P, when two rays will be fall at point P, then we can get the resultant intensity or resultant behavior of these two rays, S1P and S2P. On the screen, wherever we have to consider the point, suppose the P point has been considered here, like that, from S1 a ray is coming, from S2 ray also is coming. So at point P, what will be the its resultant behavior or resultant intensity? So from this arrangement, it has been found that this type of pattern, this type of image or result has been formed on the screen. That means if these two slits or two holes will be here, and some distance d, a screen will be present, then on the screen we are going to get a bright fringe, then dark fringe, one bright fringe or strip, one bright strip, then dark, then bright, then dark, then bright, then dark. So here BD are the bright and dark respectively. So here the so-called fringe width beta is nothing but from the center of the bright to next center of the bright, or from the center of the dark to from the center of the another dark, or the distance between two consecutive bright or dark fringe will be called as fringe width, what today we are going to be calculating. In our last class, we have been calculated that at point P, which is considered as an arbitrary point on the screen, at that point P, what will be the intensity? That will be, if at point P bright, then what will be the condition? At point P, if dark, then what is the condition, or what will be the condition? That derivation we have been derived or we have been discussed. So with short, I am going to discuss for you once again that S1, S2 are two slits separated by a distance d. Here distance separated by a distance d. And P be any arbitrary point on the screen where the resultant intensity to be calculated. Let two lights or two sources are present at S1 and S2. Hence, the two lights will be passed through this S1 and S2. So, let two lights wave are passed through the slit S1 and S2, and their corresponding equation can be written in the form of y1 equal to r1 sin omega t minus kx, y2 r equal to r2 sin omega t minus kx minus phi. Let this equation number 1, this is equation number 1 and 2, and this is the phase difference between the two light wave. Let S1P is equal to x. Let S1P let S1p is equal to x. Not required. You should not be not required to write this thing. This one. Okay. You can correct. Don't not required this one. Not required. This two words is not required. Okay. Now the path difference between the two rays. So here two rays are S1p, S2p. Then the path difference is nothing but up to this much del x. If I am going to draw the perpendicular, then this is the path difference between S1p and S2p. The path difference will be S2p minus S1p, and the corresponding phase difference will be 2 pi by lambda into path difference. Now the considering the superposition principle, the resultant wave at point P will be y equal to y1 plus y2, and this simple derivations will be there. This will be sine a plus a minus b formula. If we are going to put like this, then we can found at last. By here also in middle we are going to consider r cos alpha is equal to r1 plus r2 cos alpha, r sin alpha equal to r2 sin phi, cos phi and sin phi. Let equation number I and 2y. So hence y equal to in this form, and y equal to r sin omega t minus kx minus alpha. So now you compare this equation 3 with equation number 1 and 2. In equation number 1, omega is there, k is there. Here also omega is there, k is there. And equation number 3, also omega is there, k is there. Means omega is nothing but 2 pi by t. 2 pi is constant or 2 pi into frequency. Okay. So 2 pi is the constant, f is the frequency, and k is equal to 2 pi by lambda. So if omega and k is constant, obviously we can say that the so-called frequency or time period and wavelength of the resultant wave is equivalent or equal to the initial two waves whatever we haven't considered at S1 and S2. Okay, so the same thing it has been written that if we are comparing equation number 1, 2, 3, it can be observed that the resultant wave have same frequency and wavelength but different in amplitude. In case of y1, this is r1 sin omega t, r2 sin omega t kx minus phi. Here omega k are the constant, r1 r2 different. In case of resultant wave, r the resultant amplitude is r. So here only r is different as compared with r1 and r2. Hence in the equation number 1, 2 and 3 we can found same omega, same k but different amplitude, that is r. Now calculating the amplitude of r, what will be the value of this r? Comparing equation number squaring, let squaring the equation number 1 and 2, and we are going to get at last r square is nothing but equal to this one. R square is nothing but equal to this one, or r is the root over of this much. And it is well known that the intensity is nothing but square of the amplitude. Intensity is nothing but square of the amplitude, proportional to the square of the amplitude. So I is equal to k r1 square. Hence for light beam y1, I1 equal to k r1 square, I2 equal to k r2 square. Okay. Now the equation number 4 will be, now this equation number 4 will be kr square. Kr square, if I am going to consider this one, r square is nothing but r1 square r square. So by putting r square, we can write k r1 square r2 square plus 2 r1 r2 cos phi. Okay. So here k r1 square is nothing but I. If I am going to multiply k r1 square is nothing but I1, k r2 square is nothing but I2, plus here k will be multiplied here. So here I can write root over of k r1, root over of k r2. Okay. So here I1 equal to k r1 square. Okay. So root over of I1 will be root over of k r1. So here root over of k r1 can be written as a root over of I1, like that. Root over of k r2 can be written as I2 root over then cos phi. Okay, so I is equal to, this is nothing but a root over of I1 plus root over of I2 ro square, and I equal to, it will be plus square I root over of I1 plus root over of I2 square if cos phi is equal to 1. If cos phi will be 1, then this will be a plus b whole square. If cos phi will be minus 1, then it will be called as or written as in the form of a minus b whole square. Then now we have to consider the constructive interference. So here is nothing but the so-called I resultant intensity will be root over of I1 plus root over I2 square. That means is in the so-called intensity of resultant is addition of both the intensity of two waves, and this is the subtraction. That means this is the increase of intensity and this is the decrease of intensity. So increase of intensity will be give the bright fringe, and decrease of intensity can be give the dark fringe. So like that, here we can consider the constructive interference. Constructive interference, that also we can say the additional type, addition or increasing of intensity. The interference for which intensity is maximum is constructive interference. That is I max is nothing but I1 root over plus I2 root over square when cos phi is equal to 1, and that cos phi will be 1 when phi equal to 2 n pi. The n is nothing but 0, 1, 2, 3 we can consider, and corresponding path difference if phi is equal to 2 pi by lambda into path difference. This is formula that we are going to consider phi is equal to 2 n pi plus or minus 2 n pi, then del x is equal to the corresponding path difference will be plus or minus n lambda. Likewise, we can consider the destructive interference in which the intensity will be minimum, that is I1 root over minus I2 root over square, and it will be cos phi when is equal to minus 1, and the phi will be plus or minus 2n plus 1 pi. So this is the condition for the constructive interference plus or minus n pi, and the destructive interference condition phi is equal to plus or minus 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. Phi equal to, wait. So here a small mistake it is here. You have to correct it. This is the so-called path difference. Okay, this is the so-called path difference formula. That means for constructive interference the condition is either you have to write in this way, del x is equal to plus or minus n lambda, whatever we found for the constructive interference path difference. For the destructive interference we have been found that plus or minus 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. This is the del x is equal to the so-called del x. This is not phi, del x, not phi. Del x is equal to plus or minus 2n plus 1 by 2 or 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. The so-called del x equal to, or you can write the for the constructive interference the so-called phase difference is 2n plus pi, 2n pi, and n where n equal to plus or minus 0, 1, 2, 3 like this, and for destructive interference the phi is 2n plus or minus 2n plus 1 pi. Okay, so here small correction you have to do. Now we have to consider at slit 1 and slit 2 the amplitude are same. Let R1 equal to R2 equal to R. So the so-called maximum I max will be I1 root over plus I2 root over square. I1 root over is nothing but root over of k r, so it will be 2 root over of k r, so it will be k 4r square, but I minimum equal to 0. So here we found that if we are going to consider a monochromatic light, so here whatever the wave will be travel from S1 to P, the wavelength will be same, and the so-called frequency also same. The wavelength and frequency will be same. Only whenever the wave starts from here to here and here to here, it will be reach earlier than this wave because it is a large distance. This wave in this path, the wave travel will be the larger distance. So obviously it will be these two waves will have some path difference. Means path traveled by this wave is shorter than the path traveled by this wave. So path difference is del x. So corresponding phase difference will be possible, and corresponding phase difference means on the base of a phase difference or path difference, we can decide this point is either maximum or minimum, bright or dark. If maximum intensity, bright is nothing but for the maximum intensity, dark is nothing but for the minimum intensity. Okay, so maximum intensity, if it will be maximum intensity, that means if it will be followed, the path difference or the so-called phase difference between the two waves will be 2n pi, then the point P will be a bright. If the phase difference between the two waves will be plus or minus 2n plus 1 pi, then the so-called point P will be a dark. Okay, likewise if I am going to take all the points on the screen, if it is a bright, suppose the P point is bright, then side at the nearer side of the point P will be a dark fringe, will be a bright fringe, then dark, bright, then dark, bright, like this. So in this way we can found the so-called fringes in our Young's double slit experiment. Okay, then we have to consider the graphical representation of intensity with phi. That means previously we have been discussed, if the phase difference between the two waves will be changes, the intensity at the particular point also will be changed. So if we are going to consider phi, now we have to take a graphical representation, means along x-axis we are going to take the angle, and along y-axis we are going to take the intensity. So now consider the case n is equal to 0. N is equal to 0 means the phi equal to 0, and the so-called the point will be a constructive interference and it will be maxima. So for the maxima, the value is equal to how much? That is 4k r square, and for the minima it is 0. So either maxima and minima we are going to get. Like that, at a particular point 0 it will be maxima, and at pi, suppose we are going to consider here, if phi is equal to 0, then plus or minus pi angle is nothing but the so-called destructive interference will be happen, and we are going to get the intensity equal to 0 and also 0. Now you are going to ask us, what will be the at the point of the middle of the 0 to pi, or the so-called pi by 2. So pi by 2 in the phase difference, then we are going to get half of the intensity. You can just judge it here. Suppose in case of pi by 2, phi, if phi equal to pi by 2, then cos phi equal to 0. Then if the cos phi equal to 0, then I is nothing but, if cos phi is 0, then I is nothing but I1 plus I2. Okay, cos pi by 2 is nothing but called as 0. The intensity will be I1 plus I2. So I1 plus I2 so in case of phi equal to pi by 2, then this term will be equal to 0. So I equal to I1 plus I2. So hence I1 plus I2 means here I equal to I1 means k R1 square plus k R2 square. Okay, so it will be k of, let R1 equal to R2, so it will be 2R square. So it will be 2k R square. So at pi by 2 it will be 2k R square, but at 0 it will be 4k R square. So it will be 4k r square at maximum intensity, that means phi equal to 0. But phi equal to pi by 2, it is 2k r square, means half of this value. Half of this value means this much. This is okay. This is the half of the 4k r square. That means we can imagine, suppose at 0 equal 5 is the bright fringe. Then if we have to move from the center of the bright fringe towards the end of the or the center of the dark fringe, then the brightness of the fringe is going to be decrease continuously. The intensity of the bright fringe at the center is maximum, but if we have to move towards out from the center of the bright fringe towards the center of the dark fringe, means that I am going to say like this. This is suppose bright fringe, and this is our dark fringe. So at the center of the bright fringe, the brightness is highest. The intensity of the brightness at the center of the bright fringe is highest, but the brightness will be decreased. This is the center of the dark fringe. Okay, so whenever we have to move from here to here, the brightness of the bright fringe is gradually decreases, and at last at the center of the bright fringe it will be fully dark. So the intensity will be decreased if we have to move from the center of the bright fringe. Likewise, if we have to move from the center of the dark fringe, the intensity will be increased. The brightness will be increased. Now we have to consider the fringe width. Fringe width means from the center of the bright fringe to corresponding another center of the bright fringe or dark fringe will be called as fringe width. Here I am going to show you from the figure that this is a suppose dark fringe. Okay, this is a one dark fringe, and its nearer dark fringe is this one. Okay, so from the center of the dark to another center of the dark, this distance is nothing but called as our fringe width. Is called as fringe width, or we can say this width or the dark fringe width or bright fringe width will be called as fringe width. Okay. However, the many books have been written that the distance between two consecutive bright or dark fringe is called as the fringe width. So this is the dark fringe. So this is the two consecutive dark fringe. So we have to consider this is the center of the one dark, this is the center of another dark. The distance between the two dark fringe, center of the two dark fringe is called the fringe width, or center from one bright to another bright, or will be called as fringe width. Two consecutive bright fringe, two consecutive dark fringe distance will be called as fringe width. So now we are going to find out what will be the fringe width distance, or what is the value of the fringe width. From that, this is the heading that fringe width in Young's double slit experiment. Okay, YDE means Young's double slit experiment. So from the figure, del x is nothing but y2p S2p minus S1p. Go to the first figure, that del x. This is del x. Del x is nothing but del x S2p minus S1p. Now consider the triangle S2PB. S2PB. So S2P is nothing but S2B square plus PB square. Okay, the same thing it has been written here. S2P, the del x is nothing S2P minus S1P. S2P is S2B square plus PB square root over minus S1P, like that also, from the triangle S1P and from the triangle S1P and A, the S1P is nothing but S1A square plus PA square raw root over. Okay, so S1A square plus PA square root over. Okay, so S2B S to B, this is nothing but called the capital D, because the distance between the slit and screen. S to B is the capital D. Check it. S to B is nothing but called as the capital D. Now PB, this PB is nothing but PO plus OB. Here PO take as YN, means this is the distance from the center to the corresponding point P, the observation point P. Let that distance is YN. Let this distance from center of the screen to the point P, let it is Y1. So now P to B will be YN plus D by 2. Okay. Likewise, P to A will be YN minus D by 2. Okay. So now we have to put P to B as YN plus D by 2, P to A as YN minus D by 2. Okay. Now consider S to B as D square, PB YN plus D by 2 square root over minus S1A D square plus YN minus D by 2 square root over, because PA is nothing but YN minus D by 2. Now consider binomial theorem expansion, that is 1 plus x to the power n is 1 plus nx plus nx square, like this. So we are not going to be consider the highest order term. Neglecting the higher order term, we can found that this is d square. This that is this plus this to the power 1 by 2. That means d square plus that is nx. Okay, 1 by 2 yn plus d by 2 square, and higher order term we are not going to be consider. Likewise minus 1 by 2 has to become here d square plus 1 by 2 yn minus d by 2 square. So that implies d square will be got cancelled. This will be this much. Okay. But actually we should not be consider this two line. This two lines should not be considered, because the binomial theorem expansion is 1 plus x to the power n. But here it is some variable d plus something is there. So we have to consider this one in the form of 1 plus something. So for that we have to consider this equation like this. Take d square as common. D square as common outside means it will be d 1 plus 1 by d square yn plus 1 by plus d by 2 square root over minus. Likewise d square, if we are going to take outside, d minus this much. So now here this is the form of 1 plus x to the power n, like this. So these are not in the form of this one. Okay. So this is converted to 1 plus x to the power n. Now you have to consider the binomial expansion like this. Then it will be 1 plus 1 by 2 into 1 by d square, like this, d like this. Okay. So it will be 1 by 2d, this much. So that implies del x is equal to 1 by 2d into 4yn into d by 2. That implies del x is equal to yn d by d. Yn y into subscript n, y into n हुए. Okay, एटी multiply करा है नहीं. This is y subscript n, like this. Y subscript n small d by capital D, that is the del x. The so-called path difference we have been found, yn d small d by d. This formula you have to remember. And another thing I am going to share with you, whatever we are discussing in this week, the same thing I am going to ask for this Sunday exam. So be prepared for this unit only. Okay. So this from the third unit the question will become for the bright fringe. So for the bright fringe, path difference is how much? That is n lambda. You just recall that note note is conservative, conservative constructive interference, that del x is equal to plus or minus n lambda. So for the bright fringe, suppose we got that del x in generalized form is this one. So this at the point P, which is situated at the distance yn from the center O, that point will be the bright fringe if the condition has to be path difference, the so-called y subscript n d by d n lambda. So yn equal to this much. Now fringe width means, so this is the situation, or this is the point which is belongs to, this is the screen, no, this is the screen. So this is the point, this is the point, this is the P point, which is nothing but called as the bright. We found that is called the bright from the point O. Okay, so this is the point. Bright means that the nearer point will be dark, then another point will be bright, like this. The fringes will be created by these two waves superimposed with the help of the so-called Young's double slit experiment. So now bright to bright distance is nothing but called as the fringe width. So here this distance is suppose yn. Okay, so this distance will be how much? Yn minus 1. And if we are going to consider next bright, suppose another, if we have to go top, then this will be next fringe will be dark. If this P point will be bright, this dark, then this will be bright. Then if it is yn, then from this to this will be yn plus 1. So either we have to consider yn plus 1 minus yn, or we have to consider yn minus yn minus 1. The same result we are going to get. That means we have to subtract the distance between the two consecutive bright fringes. So either we have to subtract yn minus 1 fringe, or yn plus 1 minus yn. The same result we are going to get. So likewise the constructive interferent bright fringes, the conjugative, this is the conjugative bright fringe of yn will be yn plus 1, the higher one, yn plus 1 is equal to n plus 1 lambda d by d. So now beta, or the fringe width yn plus 1 minus y1 is equal to lambda d by d, or you can consider yn minus 1, the lower bright fringe, is nothing but equal to yn minus 1 lambda d by small d. So hence beta is equal to yn minus n minus 1. Yn is nothing but n lambda d by d minus n minus 1 lambda d by d. Also the same thing we are going to get lambda d by d. So lambda d by d, the same thing. The fringe width, that means the fringe width, the distance between the two consecutive bright fringe or dark fringe, we are going to get the value of lambda d by d. So you can check by considering the destructive interference, or for the dark fringe also you are going to get lambda d by d, the so-called fringe width of the Young's double slit experiment. Now we have to another small thing, this for the last note, that is Stokes treatment, the Stokes treatment, or Stokes law. Also it is called as Stokes law. May you have been studied in your class 2. I am going to be recall one thing. If incident ray is coming from the rarer medium and striked to a denser medium, and then reflected ray will have the phase change of pi. Remember it. The phase change will be pi when the incident light coming from the rarer medium and strike at denser. That means suppose the incident ray in the air medium, and this is the glass medium. So whenever it will strike, and the reflected ray will be the phase difference of pi. Okay. If the reflected ray and incident and reflected ray are in the denser medium, reflected ray, incident ray, this is the incident ray, and this is the reflected ray, this is the reflected ray, incident ray, reflected ray, in the denser medium there is no phase change. Stokes' law states that when light wave reflected from the denser medium, the phase or phi change will be pi, but when light reflects from the rarer medium, when it will be a rarer medium, suppose from the denser to rarer medium, denser and from the rarer medium, from the glass, and this is the glass and air interface, the so-called reflected light has no phase change. Remember it, from rarer to denser reflection phase change is pi, denser to rarer medium reflection phase change is 0. So this is required for the further study in your interference in thin film, whatever I given the note in your last class. So today is your work is that you have to go through this Young's double slit experiment perfectly when the class will be start, and I'm going to give you some few problem that you have to solve on the base of Young's double slit experiment. Simple problem that I am going to give you that you have to solve. Today work is this one. Okay. Thank you.